Victory. That is what the preachers cry from the spires of their temples. What commanders tell the soldiers in their service.
Command! This is first platoon! We've lost the square! We can't hold it!
If what you say is true, Captain Spire, a vast Chaos fleet is massing for attack. Inquisitor Horst, are you sure of this man?
Maybe we should consider someone else.
Isn't this captain from a planet that rebelled against the Emperor's will?
Enough! His faith will be tested thoroughly.
Love the Emperor, for he is the salvation of mankind. Obey his words, for he will lead you into the light of the future. Honor his servants, for they speak his voice. Tremble before his majesty, for we all walk in his immortal shadow.
Let us begin. We needed to be certain. The enemy we face is no ordinary foe.
I understand.
You are to be promoted to the rank of Admiral and given command of a fleet.
I will not fail you, Inquisitor.
There is much to do and little time, Admiral Spire. I fear a storm coming to the Gothic sector. One we are not yet prepared to face.
Inquisitor, this is your captain speaking. I'm still trying to hail the monastery, but I get no response.
The hull looks intact, though. I think it was simply abandoned a very long time ago.
Then what do you expect to find over there?
Something that once belonged to the Inquisition. And lots of empty holes.
Sounds exciting. I've instructed your pilots to land on the hangar deck.
Stand by and wait for my signal.
From the moment I first witnessed the interlopers, they disgusted me. Eons we slumbered, waiting to reclaim our galaxy, only for it to become infested with vermin that proliferated in our absence. Now, we awaken to retake what is ours. Wretched are now the nations of meat and metal, shackled to ignorance by your faith. Do you truly believe you can stop us? We.
Orcs are amongst the deadliest of the Xenos races. Multitudinous, belligerent, and possessed of brutal cunning, they spread across the stars like a green tide. Even in the war-riven sectors around the Eye of Terror, forever beset by chaos, they rank amongst the greatest threats. As battle raged between the Imperium and the dread forces of chaos, the Orcs gained a foothold upon ravaged worlds, using them as staging areas from which they could slingshot deeper into Imperial territory. Orc technology is ramshackle, but terrifyingly effective, combining mismatched components, scavenged gear, and intuitive leaps to forge weapon systems whose inner workings baffle the most experienced of the Imperium's adepts, but lack for nothing in sheer unbridled firepower. In much the same way, an Orc warlord can take a multitude of squabbling clans and forge them into an unstoppable army. Such a war has the sheer unbridled might necessary to conquer the stars themselves, leaving naught but rubble in its wake. As its momentum grows, so do its numbers grow, swollen by green skins drawn to the promise of bloodlust, teeth, and loot.
Attack is the secret of defense. Defense is the planning of an attack. Lord Admiral Ravensburg believes that we can learn something of our enemy's strategy by infiltrating a Chaos command ship recently identified by Inquisitor Horst's agents. I am to find this ship, board it, and bring back any clues I can find about the invaders' plans. Now is my chance to ensure their faith in me was not misplaced.
The purpose of this relic may yet still be a mystery, but it is now secured and protected by sworn guardians of the Inquisition. The Emperor is with us, but we must remain watchful, for Abaddon's thirst for revenge will never be slaked. The relic is lost. The Despoiler has claimed it in his taloned grasp. I do not know what unholy purpose Abaddon has for the Hand of Darkness, but we can be assured that we now face an even greater challenge from the Chaos fleets. We must regroup. We must gird ourselves in our hatred of the enemy and trust in the Emperor that he will not forsake the Gothic sector in our darkest hour. And we cannot, must not, fail again.
The Eye of Night has fallen into the clutches of Abaddon the Despoiler. The relic and all its dark secrets belong to the enemy. And with that, I feel the Gothic sector tremble. I fear that Abaddon's victory here seals defeat for the Imperial Navy. The Emperor protects.
Archmagos, your reputation precedes you, but you choose a bleak time to come to Cadia.
Bleaker than you know. My adepts uncovered pylons on Area 6. They are a perfect match for those present on Cadia, but were reduced to null during the Fourth Black Crusade.
Abaddon. His malice holds greater purpose than we knew.
Agreed. Ruined pylon fields have been discovered on many worlds. All are made by the Despoiler.
Why? Their heritage is alien, their purpose unknown.
The pylons' forges remain shrouded, known only to the Omnissiah. But their purpose is revealed. They contain the Eye of Terror. If they are destroyed, the Imperium will claim all. The Imperium will be no more. The pylons must be safeguarded. They are our only weapon against the encroachment of chaos. But I need time to study.
Go. Make your studies. May the Emperor guide you.
I mean you no harm.
You are an abomination.
I prefer honored guest. But abomination or not, you and I have common cause.
Logic dictates otherwise.
Then you don't seek to understand the nature of this matrix.
You comprehend its secrets.
I was there when they first awakened. Or perhaps I wasn't. Memory is such a fickle thing. Neither of us desires to see this galaxy ripped asunder by the Imperial ones. Destroy me if you wish. Nothing will change. For me, for you, for this world.
Show me.
The Imperium of Man. A million worlds scattered across an uncaring galaxy. A million worlds forever under threat from the machinations of cursed traitors and perfidious Xenos. It is an empire consumed by war, by the very battle for survival itself, for there is no peace amongst the stars. The Space Marines, genetically modified warriors who know no fear, spearhead every counter-assault, taking the battle to the heart of the foe. From the smoke-wreathed horror of Adeptus Mechanicus Forge Worlds sail warships of fearsome potency, their weapons blessed by the Machine God, and their crews dedicated to the Omnissiah's holy cause. The Scholar Progenium molds callow flesh into leaders, officers of the Imperial Navy, the greatest fleet ever to span the stars. These heroes dedicate their life to the Imperium's defense, confronting the ceaseless threat of chaos wherever it manifests. The war against the dark gods and their worshippers is the eternal battle for the soul of mankind, for the future of the galaxy itself. It is the forge upon which true heroes are struck and legends tempered. Admiral Spire is one such legend, savior of the Gothic sector, vanquisher of Warmaster Abaddon's 12th Black Crusade. For centuries he has been lost, trapped in the shifting tides of the Imperium, while in pursuit of the hated foe. Such travails would drive an ordinary man to madness, or into the clutches of the very gods he once opposed. But Spire is no ordinary man, and his time is coming once more.
We're out. Praise the Emperor, but I can see the stars again. Receiving distress hymnals. The region's alive with them. According to the timestamps, Admiral, the year. It's 999 M41. We've been lost in the warp for over 800 years. And Cadia, the hymnals report that it's been destroyed, sir. There's a lot of confusion out there, sir. And Admiral, Cadia fell at Abaddon's hand.
Then we are returned not a moment too soon. Navigator, chart a course to the Cadian system. We may be an age too late to join the battle, but revenge is still within our grasp.
Warp engines online. Geller field holding.
This is Admiral Spire to all Imperial vessels. Rally at coordinates 154554. This isn't over.
Trust the prophecy. And suspected there were sinister forces at work. Their fates seemingly intertwined. Maka and Angelos faced each other, their history lingering between them. Once they had been allies, An entente that was split by betrayal, and now, on this day, they were enemies. Maka under orders from Kaya to kill Angelos. But the battle was to be short-lived and inconclusive. For on that day, at the same time as they struggled, Acheron, the wandering world of the Eldar prophecy, emerged from the warp after 5,000 years. Acheron's arrival rained fiery debris on Cyprus, and as an errant spire impacted between them, Farseer Maka came to understand that she was now part of larger events that were unfolding around her. These events would spill the blood of legions, and would yet have a role for Gabriel Angelos. Gorguts and Kaya's armies clashed ferociously before the gate to the altar of the spear, seeking to secure their master's claim to the weapon. Unbeknownst to the warriors below, Inquisitor Holt, unable to take possession of the spear, sought to preclude anyone from obtaining it, and indiscriminately unleashed his powerful orbital cannon on the armies below.
Eldar! Prophecy comes to pass! The way is open!
But the bombardment had consequences unforeseen by the Inquisitor, smashing the gate to the altar and opening the way to the spear. To Kaya, this was no accident, but the prophecy coming to pass.
Inquisitor, with all respect, is Exterminatus the only solution?
Admiral Spire, it is said that heresy is like a tree. Its roots lie in darkness, while its leaves wave in the sun. You can prune away its branches, even cut the tree to the ground, but it will grow again, ever stronger. Such is the nature of heresy, and why it is so difficult to destroy. Some may question my right to destroy a world of 10 billion souls. But those who truly understand realize that I have no right to let them live. No sacrifice is too great. No treachery too small.
The Eldar's arrogance knows no bounds, but we have repaid them for their insults in blood. No longer will the Eldar corsairs attack our convoys or raid our systems. These aliens dare to try and manipulate us into their schemes, but we of the Imperial Navy are no one's puppet. With the Eldar threat destroyed, we can now focus our efforts on our deadliest enemy, Abaddon, the Despoiler. It is a sign of the dire threat facing the Gothic sector that the Imperial Navy would even consider an alliance with any alien. The Eldar are an arrogant and deceitful race, but it seems they are willing to assist us. We may yet be able to save the sector, but I dare not inquire why the Eldar have proposed this alliance. It is said that for any question asked of the Eldar, they return 3 answers, all of which are terrifying to comprehend. The Orc Horde is a beast. Destroy the head, the body dies. Without their war boss, the Orc ships become easy prey. One by one, we hunted them down, dispensing the Emperor's implacable wrath upon their Xenos vessels. Our attack scattered their ships, and the once fearsome Green Tide was silenced.
Victory. I never wanted this. I never wanted to unleash my legions. Together we banished the ignorance of old night. But you betrayed me. You betrayed us all. You stole power from the gods and lied against your sons. Mankind has only one chance to prosper. If you will not seize it, then I will! So let it be war! From the skies of terror to the galactic rim. Let the seas boil. Let the stars fall. Though it takes the last drop of my blood. I will see the galaxy freed once more. And if I cannot save it from your failure, Father, then let the galaxy burn.
The galaxy is aflame. The shadow of damnation spreads across the stars. To repel this darkness, a mighty crusade is launched. The threat of chaos must be driven back. Uncountable enemies stand in their path, but the defenders of the Imperium do not stand alone. Guided by their unshakable faith in the Emperor, they will vanquish the storm. They will be the light that breaches the darkness. And they shall know no fear.
My ship is closest to the Blackstone fortresses. All power to the Void Shields. I will attempt to put an end to this madness. By my faith, may the light of the Emperor spread to the farthest star. By my duty, the galaxy will belong to the righteous. By my action, the Imperial Navy shall be honored and remembered upon holy terror. For the Emperor of mankind, and for the Battle Fleet Gothic! All ships, cancel the retreat order. The heroic sacrifice of Captain Abaddon and the Flame of Purity have shut down the Blackstone fortresses. All remaining vessels, we have to board them and take control.
Forces at Schindelgeist boarded the isolated Blackstone fortress in an attempt to recapture it. Within, there was no sign of any crew. The walls pulsed with energy, and every surface had become a deep-veined black, like the void of space. Suddenly, a high-pitched whine filled the air, and the walls became ruddy in color. A sense of panic filled the hearts, and the fortress was abandoned in haste. In the end, the fortress destroyed itself. It should have been a pleasing sight to see such destruction, yet while I cannot say just why, my heart was filled with sorrow. I could not dismiss the feeling that something magnificent had died. Who can tell what Abaddon might have done with all 6 fortresses? Some things are too dangerous to be allowed to exist. And someone decided that the Blackstone fortresses were amongst those things.
I see fortresses in the stars. A circle of 6, but they sleep yet and must
Looking down the barrel of a gun, grasping at each other, through big shorties and
The Orcs plague the whole galaxy from end to end, with their ceaseless warring and strife. They are a warlike, crude and highly aggressive green-skinned Xenos race, organized in a primitive and brutal society, rooted so deeply in war that peace is utterly incomprehensible to them. Their ships are often ill-kempt, unreliable rust buckets, kept in operation only by the constant effort of Orc mech boys and their Gretchen slaves. Orc pirate attacks are brutally direct, with their ships rushing headlong towards their target, guns firing wildly as they come. They cannot be bargained with or bought, save with weapons that they will inevitably turn against those who try to bribe them. Orcs have a need for speed. Their ships commonly mount a plethora of thrusters, boosters, and extra drives, usually all wired up to a prominent red button in the cockpit. Experience have I learned that underestimating the greenskins is a fast route to the grave.
In the darkness between the stars, the weak and the faithless find no deliverance. We are raised to believe that the God Emperor watches over us all. And so we are charged to cleanse the mutant, the heretic, the alien. We must not falter. We are his sword. We are his wrath. Even in the face of death, we shall not submit.
You're missing a glorious parade, Anchorite.
Marcus, are we not done here? Surely the arbiters can deal with this mess.
show great courage, but I need no rescue. And there is a funeral rite I must perform before I evacuate. Go. Get to safety. Evacuate, trooper! What treachery is this? Or is it madness? Hollow, blind! Stay back!
For 10,000 years, the Imperium of Man has endured under the rule of the immortal Emperor. The worlds of man are scattered across the galaxy, threatened by savage aliens, heretics who defy the Emperor's will, and horrors lurking upon forgotten worlds. It is a time of endless war, selfless heroism, and blackest infamy.
I see fortresses in the stars. A circle of 6, but they sleep yet and must be awakened. Ride upon the storms of chaos. Gather your rivals around you. End discord and terror throughout 1,000 worlds. Abaddon the Despoiler, War Master of Chaos.
You speak in meaningless riddles. What are the fortresses in the stars? Answer me or die now!
Stop this foolishness. I have consorted with creatures far more powerful than you.
Speak, crone, but I will remember your insolence.
Seek the hand of darkness. Take the eye of night. With these, the citadels will be yours to command. A chorus of 1,000,000,000 throats will cry your name in fear and hatred. The stars themselves will run red with blood. If you have the courage for it. War Master.
Forces at Schindelgeist boarded the isolated Blackstone fortress in an attempt to recapture it. Within, there was no sign of any crew. The walls pulsed with energy, and every surface had become a deep-veined black, like the void of space. Suddenly, a high-pitched whine filled the air, and the walls became ruddy in color. A sense of panic filled the hearts, and the fortress was abandoned in haste. In the end, the fortress destroyed itself. It should have been a pleasing sight to see such destruction, yet while I cannot say just why, my heart was filled with sorrow. I could not dismiss the feeling that something magnificent had died. Who can tell what Abaddon might have done with all 6 fortresses? Some things are too dangerous to be allowed to exist. And someone decided that the Blackstone fortresses were amongst those things.
I see fortresses in the stars. A circle of 6, but they sleep yet and must be awakened.
Great sacrifices had been made, and great heroes had confronted the challenge. Through the determination, courage, and loyalty of every man in the Navy, the war had been won. Billions of men had found death. Planets had been destroyed, and galaxies threatened. But we stood as one. We are the defenders of humanity. We are the Emperor's blazing sword and the Imperium's crushing fist. Hundreds of billions of hands ready to die for our missions in the cold, unforgiving space. We are the Imperial Navy.
What can possibly justify interrupting me, Regardless?
Lord Admiral, the light of the Astronomicon shines once more. Reinforcements have been dispatched to the Gothic sector. The warp stone, it is gone. Tremble before the majesty of the Emperor, for we all walk in his immortal shadow.
My name. What is my name? Servant of the Dark Gods. Mankind languishes in a tumultuous galaxy, its potential shackled by a corpse on a gilded throne. We must must look to the past for our salvation. To the primal gods who shape all that is. Let there be war upon this false Imperium. Let the galaxy burn.
Beyond the veil lies only corruption. Far from the guiding light of the God Emperor, torn apart by the foul tempest that distort reality, the veil shreds open, and madness gushes through. My sacred duty is to keep vigil here, in the darkness that hides tainted worlds and terrible secrets. I will purge the unclean and raise their nests. I will not hesitate to enter our once proud bastions, now sanctuaries of the wicked and the alien. This is a haven for the heretic and the corrupted. But I will cleanse the abandoned halls. I will face what's lurking among the shadows. I am an inquisitor. I shall fear nothing, for I am what you fear.
For 10,000 years, the Emperor's Inquisition have fought a secret war to defend humanity. We keep vigil in the darkness. We hunt among the shadows. We pass judgment upon the mutant, the traitor, and the heretic. We purge the world of the taint lurking among the stars. We are Inquisitors. We shall fear nothing. For we are what you fear.
It is the 41st millennium.
Inquisitor, we are ready to proceed.
Time to start our own little procession then. Let's pay our dear friend a visit.
accept these burdens as the Imperium bleeds. I accept these burdens, knowing no fear. I accept these burdens as an angel of the Emperor. I sheathe my form in this second skin. This veil of machine muscle and false nerves. I stand firm against the alien, the mutant, the heretic. I grant no mercy. I give no ground.
The impact of the ship shattered the mantle of Acheron, smashing it into a multitude of fragments. Those that did not find means to escape perished. Though reduced in stature, the demon was not killed. And the core of his dominion remained. The demon defeated and the prophecy broken. The alliance was dissolved, and the wayfarers went their separate ways.
At least I got me pointy stick.
Sven Bloodhowl, stalwart of a brotherhood famed for their courage. But sometimes, courage is not enough.
Initialization failed. Null array inert. Insufficient power. Insufficient power. Rerouting. Reroute failed. Power surge. Processing. No data. Power building. Null array deploying.
Thus did Cadia earn respite, not through the bravery of Sven Bloodhowl, nor the labors of Magus Clan, but through the intercession of a mysterious benefactor. But the respite was short-lived. As the cheers faded, traitor warships blackened the skies. The siege of Cadia Secundus had begun. The forces of the despoiler came in numbers uncounted, but the walls of Casa Kraf held. Even in that darkest of days, the flame of humanity's valor burned bright. With faith burning in their hearts, the defenders held the Chaos Hordes at bay, uncaring of the losses they bore in exchange. But flesh fails and faith flickers. With every bloody moment, Abaddon's forces drew closer to victory.
symbol of loyalty unbroken. With reverence, I receive actuation, awakening the armored spirit. With pride, I wear the symbol of my chapter and join my brothers in war.
The sector is at war. Its worlds under siege. Chaos spreads, consumes us all. Here we will make our final stand. Here there will be
fiery skies. spear of Cain shall call the wayfarers, and the Storm Prince shall unite them. Their victory shall shake the heavens. Orc hordes threaten to overrun planet Cyprus. By order of the Imperial commander, Inquisitor Holt, reinforcements were kept in high orbit and forbidden from landing upon the planet. Leaving the Knights of House Varlock on their own to defend against the rampage. Help arrived when the Blood Ravens descended from the sky. Their chapter master, Gabriel Angelos, defied the Inquisitor's blockade and came to the aid of House Varlock.
Brothers, rise! We have orcs to kill! For the Emperor!
The Inquisitor was not pleased.
The Indomitus Crusade meets with triumph after triumph. Day by day we tear Imperium Nihilus from the Despoiler's grip. And though we are beset on all sides, with each battle we drive back the mutant, the heretic, the alien. As I speak these words, our forces engage the remnants of Leviathan. Reclaiming lost worlds, atoning for old shames. A crusade to cleanse the stars. Taking the fight to the enemy. We routed the tyrannids at Baal. We broke their high fleet. Soon, their foulness will be but a memory. That is what the preachers say. Save us. Lies will not protect us. But it is our hope that will damn us. spires and the slums. Sing of victory. Victory as the galaxy burns. Victory as the Imperium rots around us. Victory as humanity rages against the dying of the light. Inquisitor's log. Classified report. Scheduled for later transmission. I am closing on the source of the Inquisitorial distress signal I was assigned to investigate. The coordinates I received from the Caligari Conclave led me to a desolate system. There were many delays during the journey. The intensity of the Caligari warp surges is beyond anything I've experienced. These anomalies are spreading through the subsector like a tidal wave. The distress signal has an ancient encryption used by the Holy Orders. It is authentic, but extremely old. The signal is coming from a battered fortress monastery that was likely spat from the warp when the tide of the surges swept through the sector. There is no response to our hailing signals.
Yes. You would hand the spoils of our hunt to the arbitrators.
We have what we came for. Sentence him and be done with it.
Kaiva, what say you?
Your choice, Inquisitor.
Please, Inquisitor, I swear I have told you all that I know. Please.
A trifle late for begging, wouldn't you think?
Name your price. Name it.
Seeking to bribe an agent of the Golden Throne? Shall I add sedition to your list of crimes? In the name of His Holy Majesty, the God Emperor of Man, I thrice judge thee excommunicate traitoris, by actions, by associations, and by beliefs. Your sentence is... death. Oh, if you have any last words, you may speak them now. We will ensure they're entered into the Ordo's archives.
Mercy, Inquisitor! Grant me mercy!
Mercy, Anchorite. I don't even know what mercy is anymore. Shh. It's all right. How old are you, Anchorite?
What?
Your age. How many rejuvenate treatments have prolonged your unworthy existence? How many years have you spent polluting our throne world with your blasphemous breath? 3 centuries? 4? A rhetorical question, my friend, to illustrate the point. This sentence is long overdue.
There are some amongst my Ordos who believe that to fight chaos, one must understand it. Whatever secrets the Eye of Night holds, they are a danger to one's very soul. A moral threat of corruption, of darkness, of heresy. The mighty Imperial Navy has kept this relic out of Abaddon's hands. And in that victory, I see the salvation of the sector, and of myself.
Murdered in one dreadful hour. The name of Abaddon's ship, the Planet Killer, will haunt us for eternity. The only thing that the Imperial ship crews fear even more than traveling in the warp is traveling in the warp while there is a storm raging. The light of the Emperor's Astronomicon can no longer guide the navigators, and entire sectors can be isolated, preventing any help from afar. The chaos, at home in the distortion of reality, becomes an even greater threat. And even the most experienced navigators can only hope for a safe arrival at their destination. O eternal God Emperor, preserve us from the dangers of the void. Great sacrifices had been made, and great heroes had confronted the challenge. Through the determination, courage, and loyalty of every man in the Navy, the war had been won. Billions of men had found death, planets had been destroyed, and galaxies threatened.
We stood as one. We are the defenders of humanity. We are the Emperor's blazing sword and the Imperium's crushing fist. Hundreds of billions of hands ready to die for our mission in the cold, unforgiving space. We are the Imperial Navy.
For 10,000 years, the Eye of Terror has spewed its ageless horrors into the galaxy, gnawing at the eternal glories of the Imperium, at the very soul of mankind itself. And for every one of those 10,000 years, the fortress world of Cadia has held the gate closed, an adamantium bastion, granted strength by flesh and bone, and seeded purpose by faith in the Emperor's holy light. But as the darkness grew ever deeper, and the blaze of the Astronomicon guttered like a wind-blown candle, the Eye of Terror pulsed, its baleful energy spilling anew across the stars. With a shriek that echoed through nightmares from Medusa to Ultramar, the Black Fleet slipped its moorings. An endless tide of heretics, traitors, demons, and madmen whose desperate fealty was given over to a single damned soul. Abaddon the Despoiler, inheritor of the arch-traitor Horus's reviled legacy, the 13th Black Crusade, herald to a fresh age of nightmare, had begun. Stalwart Cadia would be the first to feel its wrath.
A Blackstone fortress! Without our shields, that accursed Hulk will scour Cadia clean.
Repairs to the null array are underway. We require only a matter of days.
The Magos asks for time. I have none to give. My wolves will buy all that he needs. Alert my battle barge to prepare for my arrival. By the Fang, I'll not die without a fight.
At long last, at the cost of countless millions of lives, Abaddon the Despoiler finally met his end, and a debt owed since the darkest days of the Horus heresy was at last repaid. But his death could not undo the legacy of devastation he had wrought. The Imperium would face other battles against the Dark Gods. This was no ending, but a new beginning. Cadia had fallen, but its name and legend lived on.
Warriors of mankind, the Emperor has tested us, and we have not been found wanting. By his will and our faithfulness, we have journeyed through darkness, through fire, and now emerge into the brilliant light of a new dawn. But that light shines only so long as we keep it fed. Through our sacrifice, through the valor of the Imperial Navy, mankind shall endure. There is no peace in these stars, only a crucible of war in which our faith is forever tested. Our service we owe to our comrades. Our lives we spend for the Imperium. And our souls, now and forevermore, belong to the Emperor.
The Tyrannids, the great devourer. In all the stars, there has never been a Xenos race more inimical to the survival of mankind. Indeed, they are the bane of all other life. Their origins are but poorly understood, the stuff of rumor and supposition and nightmare. The adepts of Mars believe that a single unknowable consciousness guides the Hive fleets about their voracious purpose. This consciousness knows only unquenchable hunger. Hive ships serve as synapse nodes, spreading the influence of the tyrannid hive mind across the stars. Such is the hive mind's suffocating will that the warp is distorted for light years around. Confusion and terror spread before the hive fleets advance, as dreams darken and madness spreads. As the hive fleets advance, the suffocating embrace quenches the Emperor's light and drowns doomed worlds in psychic shadow. But the greatest threat comes from within. Foul creatures known as gene stealers infiltrate unvigilant worlds. A patriarch arises from the population's subverted flesh and projects a psychic beacon to draw the hive fleet ever closer. As the gene stealer cult grows in power, they emerge from the shadows of their benighted world. Civil war rages, shaking the planet asunder. Then the skies darken with spores and the hive fleet's voracious tendrils. The cultists exult at the fulfillment of prophecy and their ascension into the light. Their delusions die with them. There are many hive fleets, each but a facet of the immeasurable tyrannid threat. Leviathan is the greatest, and has wrought ruin on a scale never before witnessed. Though the great rift arising from Cadia's ruin has severed many of Leviathan's tendrils, many more remain. Even now, one is surging towards the Eye of Terror.
No fear.
In darkness, I shall be light. In times of doubt, I shall keep faith. Of rage, I shall hone my craft. In vengeance, I shall have no mercy. Of battle, In the face of death, I shall have no remorse.
For 10,000 years, the Imperium has dominated the galaxy. There is only war. Every human soul, from the most highborn lord to the most basic servitor, is dedicated to the service of the God Emperor of mankind. The Imperium's battle fleets and armies, from the conscripted soldiers of the Astra Militarum to the elite space marines of the Adeptus Astartes, keep humanity safe from alien threats and cosmic horrors beyond imagining. But there is another war. It is the one in which I serve.
Commence warp translation.
Is not one of battlefields and fleet engagements. It is waged by the dedicated agents of the Imperial Inquisition. It is fought in the cities and hives of the Imperium. In the back streets and the forgotten sublevels. In hive cities like Tertian.
We are surrounded! Don't get overrun!
For if the Inquisition fails, if we fail, the Imperium falls with us.
Together, we can finally see. Farseer Maka divined that the prophecy and the spear and the entire enterprise were an elaborate trap. Even then, the spear of Cain, for which so much blood had been spilled, lay within reach of those that sought it. Gorguts arrived first, but Kaya challenged him. And in a swift battle, vanquished him. In his moment of ascendant victory, the trap was sprung on Kai, and it was his blood that was spilled by the spear. It was not the weapon of an Eldar god, but a trinket to lure us like lambs to a blood sacrifice. A ritual to revive an ancient evil and unleash him from the ice. Released from dormancy and then gorged with blood, the demon arose.
Suffering is our prayer. Faith is our armor. In battle, he offers us redemption. And for those who prove worthy, the Emperor sends forth his angels.
Our Imperium is besieged. Across 1,000 worlds, we fight for our survival. Those that would tear humanity down are legion. Our forces are few. Our enemies, many. There is no respite. There is no mercy. And in our darkest hour, a spiteful universe awakens forgotten evils to break us. The galaxy burns, yet still we stand, the last bulwark against the terror. And while we draw breath, we will fight. For in this new dark age, there is only war.
Long have I followed the War Master. I brought ruin to 100 worlds through blood and decay, through horrors that warp the mind, through perfection and perversions. I never doubted. Not until now. Pride. The disease that laid Horus low. It courses through Abaddon's blood also. It is his weakness. Once, he was mankind's greatest champion against a stultifying Imperium. Now, he is nothing more than a relic of the past. A herald to my ascension. My hour is coming. I offer a toast to the War Master!
With the Emperor's foremost son as Lord Commander of the Imperium, a new hope stirred. In the deepest eons of history, before mankind had even emerged from primordial ooze, the Necrontyr dominated the galaxy. But unity receded, even as the bounds of their domain expanded. Fearing the collapse of their civilization, the leaders of the Necrontyr assailed the Old Ones, seeking to wrest from them the secret of eternal life. The galaxy blazed with the fires of war. Too late, the Necrontyr realized the impossibility of victory. Thus they embraced damnation. The Star Gods, the Catan, walked amongst them, offering prized immortality and long-sought victory. So ended the Necrontyr of old. Betrayed by the ambition of Zarek, the Silent King, they were dragged in chains to the fires of biotransference, transmuted from fragile and radiation-cursed bodies to forms more suited for the ravages of war. Stripped of flesh, of mortality, even of their souls, the Necrontier passed from history. Only the Necrons remained. Now enslaved to the will of the Catan, the Necrons at last altered the course of the war. Cosmic battle lines buckled and at last broke beneath a tide of immortal fury. As the last of the Old Ones fell, Zarek led what remained of his people in revolt against their Catan masters. The Star Gods were overthrown, shattered into shards, and forced to serve those they had once ruled. But centuries of war had taken their toll on both the Necrons and the galaxy. To preserve what remained of their empire, the Necrons retreated to colossal stasis tombs, to sleep away millennia while their domain healed and their rivals passed into dust. Freed from the shackles of time, the passing millennia meant nothing to them. 60 million years have passed, and the ancient tombs are once more stirring to life. The Necrons, forgotten by all but the Eldari, are returning to claim what was theirs. They will abide no trespassers. With the awakening of their Therion, Kefrek the Unbroken, the Neferu dynasty arises once more. Undying legions stir in the forgotten dirt of 100 worlds. The reconquest of the galaxy has begun.
Oh, Markham, let the legions rise. Oh, Markham, unleash the power of the Neferu. Oh, Markham, our worlds are infested. Scour them clean. This is my hour.
We have arrived, and it is now that we perform our charge. In fealty of the God Emperor, our undying Lord, and by the grace of the Golden Throne, I declare exterminatus upon the Imperial world of Typhon Primaris. I hereby sign the death warrant of an entire world, and consign 1 million souls to oblivion. May Imperial justice account in all balance. The Emperor protects.
It is human nature to seek culpability in a time of tragedy. It is a sign of strength to cry out against fate, rather than to bow one's head and succumb. Inevitably, many shall fault the hands upon the sword which felled Typhon, the Ordo Malleus. But the Inquisition merely performs the duty of its office. To further fear them is redundant. To hate them, heretical. Those more sensible will place responsibility with those who forced the hands of the Inquisition. With some fortune, they may foster this hatred into purpose, and further rule their own fate by coming to the Emperor's service. Yet ultimately, it was I who set these events into motion, with a single blow from my hammer, God-Splitter.
Who have shattered our very gods. More of us are coming. This planet will be ours.
You lost this war before you started, fool.
Primary threat spotted.
Moving into position.
Neutralizing.
Take cover! Strike from the sky, brothers!
This planet is ours, witch!
No. This planet is theirs. Battlefield, planet Cyprus was littered with the wreckage of the armies and war machines that had contended there. To most, it was a scarred wasteland. But for the orcs, it was a rich bounty of valuable scrap. The orc Gorguts came to Cyprus to avail himself of these riches, and pledged his allegiance to one of the local war bosses. But few believed that he would be satisfied being a servant for very long. The Eldar warlord Cadia was obsessed with the prophecy of Cain, and sent his army to Cyprus to await the re-emergence of the wandering world. But Cadia's army met unexpected resistance from the local orcs. Cadia sent the Farseer Maka to assist his forces. Based upon her auguries, Maka did not trust